Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in this video I'm going to give you my top 10 best Dolby Atmos 4K Blu-ray discs from Warner Brothers. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, in today's video, I am going to give you my top 10 best Dolby Atmos 4K Blu-ray discs from Warner Brothers. It's the first video in a new series, so I hope you enjoy it. Now, when it comes to Dolby Atmos, us 4K collectors really enjoy the format quite a bit. It's very immersive, dynamic, and it gives you a great surround sound pull. Like, it has a fantastic overall presence. Some better than others, of course. That's what a list like this is for. I'll have to admit, it was pretty difficult narrowing this list down. Warner Brothers does such a great job with their Dolby Atmos tracks. It was pretty hard to come up with just the top 10, but I managed to do so with a few honorable mentions, and I'm pretty satisfied with the list. You'll also notice there aren't any Christopher Nolan films on this particular top 10. If you know the director, he tends to favor a DTS 5.1, so just keep that in mind going forward. Also, once again, this is not a list based off the picture quality or the movie itself. I've done separate videos on those particular lists, so if you want to check it out, I will leave a link in the description. And finally, this is my particular list. Yours will be very different, but I encourage you to put it in the comment section below. What would you put on your top 10 best Dolby Atmos 4K discs? Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. At number 10, I'm going to give that to Dr. Sleep from director Mike Flanagan. Of all the movies on this list, this is the one that really caught me by surprise on how much the audio experience really gave you a good feel. This one absolutely rocked in the theater, but when you brought it home, it was equally impressive. The Dolby Atmos is all encompassing, it's atmospheric, and it's pretty heavy-handed. You get a surprising amount of heft when it comes to the LFE channel, and just everything else works on every level. This film absolutely is a great Dolby Atmos presentation, and I highly recommend it. Number 9, that is going to go to Ready Player One. Steven Spielberg's film is personally one of my favorite movies, but also the audio presentation is extremely heavy. You get that opening race sequence, I think is absolutely demo material. All your speakers are utilized very well. The heights, the rears, you get a heavy presence in the LFE. And even the final battle with the third key, I think, is a good representation of the Dolby Atmos. The rest of the movie doesn't quite match up in times, but it's still really audibly a fantastic listening experience. And yes, you should definitely add this to your collection. Number 8, that will go to Zack Snyder's 300. When I popped this disc in for the first time and that Dolby Atmos started up, wow, I was extremely impressed. You feel every battle in your seat. You can pretty much feel it in your bones. All the speakers are used effectively. Anything that happens on screen has purpose, and the audio really reflects that. Everything just works here, in my opinion. This is a great listening experience, top notch, one of the best discs that Warner Brothers has put out, and I would highly encourage you to pick this one up. Number 7 is going to go to the Matrix trilogy. I didn't want to just settle on one of these films. I think all three are excellent in their own way. Whether it's Neo fighting the agents in the first 2 films, or the real-world battle with the machines in the climax of the third. It all works here. It's very heavy-handed. Everything with atmosphere, action, music, it's all top-notch. Trilogy definitely doesn't disappoint, and you will absolutely enjoy yourself with any of these films. Number 6 is going to go to another trilogy, this time The Lord of the Rings. When this came out on 4K last year, I was ecstatic, and the Dolby Atmos definitely just brought its A game completely. Everything works here. The music, which is hauntingly beautiful, the atmosphere, action, it's all rendered very well. You have to pop these in. If you have a Dolby Atmos setup, you're going to get a full immersive experience. These films are excellent just by themselves, but add that Dolby Atmos, you're getting something really special. For number 5, that will go to Blade Runner 2049. For you international fans, Sony handled the distribution. For us in the States, Warner Brothers, so it makes the list no problem. It's very immersive. It takes that futuristic world and it puts you right in there. There's a lot of heavy-handedness to the track. You know, everything from the LFE, the height speakers, the surround sound environment is just wonderfully realized. This is a great movie to listen to. If you're not a fan of it, you should definitely give it another shot, especially if you have a Dolby Atmos setup. I'm very happy with Denis Villeneuve's film, and I think the Dolby Atmos is top-notch. Number 4, that will go to Mad Max Fury Road. Of all the movies on this list, this one is probably the most chaotic use of Dolby Atmos. I am extremely impressed every time I fire this one up. This one really puts you right in the middle of the action. That opening chase sequence, that really just dominates your surround sound environment. It's very heavy-handed use of LFE, just gives you a nice thump in your seats. And all the speakers, wow, there's just never a moment that they aren't active. It's meaningful action. The Atmos is really phenomenal. And if you don't own this one, you really should. And number 3, that will go to Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Of all the legendary MonsterVerse films that are on 4K Blu-ray, I think this one brings the strongest when it comes to Dolby Atmos. I'm a big kaiju fan, so I expect my audio track to reflect that, and here it does such an excellent job. It puts you right into the middle of the action, no problem. All the speakers are utilized extremely well. Everything works here. It's very thunderous. It gives you a full experience. Energy is top-notch. This one has it all for me. I love these films, and I think the Dolby Atmos here is truly excellent. Staying with the giant monster theme, my number 2, that will go to Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro's film is underrated in my opinion, but what's not underrated is the Dolby Atmos track. This thing brings the goods and then some. Those giant monster versus robot fights have never sounded better. It's very immersive, room-filling, and it gives you everything you want from an Atmos track. The action is just top-notch here, well reflected with the Dolby Atmos. If you have a good setup, this one is definitely hard to beat. Before I get to my number 1, just a couple of quick honorable mentions. Batman v Superman. The Dolby Atmos on this 4K disc is excellent. It's truly reference quality, and for comic book movies, it's probably one of the best audio tracks out there. Honestly, this one is a no-brainer. If you have it already, you know what I'm talking about. Also, Godzilla vs. Kong. I was struggling between this one and King of the Monsters to put on the official list. I ultimately think King of the Monsters has more action and it's a little stronger. But the audio presentation here, it's excellent. You should definitely give it a shot. And finally, Aquaman. This one made number 1 on a couple of my lists in the past, and here I think it definitely deserves a mention. I didn't want to populate the whole list with comic book movies. That may be a separate list down the line, but if you have Aquaman, both visually and audio-wise, you're definitely in for a treat. And for my number 1 best Dolby Atmos 4K Blu-ray disc from Warner Brothers, that honor goes to Man of Steel. No question about it, this thing is an absolute beast. The Atmos is top-notch from start to finish. When Superman is fighting the Kryptonians, the World Engine sequence, and when you get the final battle with Zod, everything works here. It's very immersive, room-filling. It has a sound that is just phenomenal to listen to. Easily one of the best superhero audio tracks of all time. The Atmos here in Man of Steel is worthy of my number 1, and you should definitely check this one out. So that was my top 10 best Dolby Atmos 4K Blu-ray discs from Warner Brothers. It's your turn in the comment section below. Let me know what you would put on your particular list. And if you want to pick up any of these titles, I will go ahead and leave an Amazon link in the comment section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.